Welcome back, you guys. Here is the gumbo video finally, and here are some of the ingredients I'll be using. You saw the mixed veggies, the broth, bay leaves, the cut up sausages, and these seasonings are what I combined together to add to the mixed veggies and the meat. And yeah, here in this pot I am actually boiling some chicken, and here I am adding some oil to our pot. And I don't exactly remember the measurements of the oil. That looks like maybe 1/4 of a cup of oil going up in there. And once the oil is heated up, I will be adding the mixed veggies. Here we go. Added the mixed veggies, and I'm just going to saute them for a bit. And it's pretty much bell peppers, celery, okra, onions. I don't remember. I may have added white onions and then green onions as well, and added that mixture, seasoning mixture to it. And now I'm just stirring it. I kept coming back to check it to make sure that the veggies were being sauteed and softened like they needed to be. And once they were, I took them out of the pot. And once I took them out of the pot, the next thing that I would be adding was the seasoned meat. So, taking all of it out of the pot, kind of got stuck to the bottom of the pot, which wasn't necessarily something that I liked, but hey. Next thing I'll be adding here is, the camera angle is a little off. It's the shrimp. And I let that saute for a bit, stirred it around. Then I eventually added the sausages, the Louisiana, the Cajun sausages. It was Cajun sausage and some other type of sausage that I got from Bel-Air's. Yeah, Bel-Air's. So added them, sauteing them, and we'll be taking them out. And once they are taken out, I will be mixing them in with the veggies eventually. But for now, I'm just taking them out and adding them to the bowl that I had put the veggies in. Once I did that, the chicken was cooked and shredded. And once I shredded the chicken, I ended up adding it to the pot and added that seasoning mixture again. I just came up with that seasoning mixture, and it ended up working out. It was not a seasoning mixture that I got from the gumbo recipe. Oh, the recipe for the gumbo I got from this person I follow on Instagram, and her website or her handle is Butter Be Ready, and I will be putting that in the information section of this video. But yeah, I've made this recipe before. This just turned out a bit different than the last time because I used my own seasoning mixture and just did things a bit differently than I did last time. I mean, every time you make a recipe, it's not going to be exactly the same, but what you want to do is get it, similar, as close as you want to keep consistency as best as you can. But if it's a bit different here and there, It's not too much of a big deal. So what I'm doing here now is adding flour to oil. And so this is one of the most important things when it comes to making gumbo is what I'm doing here. And I am making the roux, which is a French word, I'm thinking, and it's R-U-E. It's how it's spelled, but this is pretty much the gumbo base. This is how you get the gumbo coloring and the sauce, and this part of making the gumbo does take a while, and you do want to take your time because you will need to be adding, while stirring, flour for some minutes. And I will make an effort to link Butter Be Ready's website so you guys can pretty much gauge the time frame that you need for each step. But you want to pretty much get the roux to a dark chocolatey color. So you will continue to mix flour in the hot oil and stir till it turns a dark chocolatey color. And once you get that, you will then go ahead and add the meat, the veggies, and then additionally you will be adding the gumbo filet, which is what gives the gumbo its texture as well. It's the roux, and the gumbo filet is also really important because it just thickens the soup. It thickens the gumbo. But first, after you've added the meat and the veggies to the roux, you will then go ahead and add your broth. Here I used chicken broth and vegetable broth and just mixed it together. You can let it simmer for a bit. Obviously stir it so it's evenly distributed in the broth. And then once you have stirred it in with the broth, then that's when you will be adding the gumbo filet, which thickens the broth up. And look at that. I was a little disappointed here. I tasted it and it tasted burnt, so I think I overdid the roux. I kept it on for too long, and yeah, it just didn't taste the way that it tasted when I had made it in the past. However, once it had been a day, the gumbo, we had some the same day, but the following day it seemed like it tasted better, so perhaps it just needed to sit for a bit and get the flavors all mixed up, to where the following day it just was better. So I added the vegetable broth, stirring, and like I said, you let it simmer for a little bit, and then you add the gumbo filet to thicken the broth. This time when I made the recipe, it definitely had a lot more meat in it. It was definitely a lot more hearty than the first time I made it, because I don't recall having chicken the last time I made it. I probably was adding water here just to make it more brothy, because as you can see, there's so much meat and veggies and stuff in there. It was a bit thicker than I guess I'd wanted it, so I added some water. And here I am adding some salt. I had gone ahead and added a bit more of the other seasoning mixture to the soup and added some salt. And here I am adding the gumbo filet. You can find this in your local grocery store. I think this one I may have found at Walmart. Actually, I'm not sure. If I remember correctly, I had difficulty finding the gumbo filet. Did I order it off of Amazon? You guys, I am not sure. But anyway, added it, and let's see if you guys can tell how the texture of the gumbo starts to change with it and starts to thicken. You may not be able to see it here as much. Anyhow, so once you've done all that, pretty much once you've added the gumbo fillet, you can let it simmer for another 2 to 3 minutes and serve by itself or serve with rice, which I had decided to make the gumbo for a sister in Christ of ours who just had a baby, so that's how we served it. We made some rice and took the gumbo over, and we all ate and fellowshipped. Anyway, thank you guys for stopping by again. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time.